Amelia Nelson is a fashion eyewear brand. We're non-traditional in that we're bringing fashion to the eyewear industry, and when we design, manufacture and retail our own glasses. We're in our Covent Garden store. This is our UK flagship store. We've opened another 3 London stores on the back of that, and we're rolling out across the UK. The UK for me is sort of one of the heartlands of fashion and retail. It's very much a melting pot of traditional English and influences from all around the world. I mean, it really is both a retail and a fashion mecca. In some ways, it's a very challenging retail environment, and that's pretty much what makes it a great retail environment. It's competitive, it's changing, what's in today is not going to be in tomorrow. And so I think it always keeps you on the toes, and you know if it works in the UK, it works. The strengths of the UK market, obviously, it's a large, relatively affluent market, which is always an important base point. But it is also, it has a sophisticated consumer. It really does. They know value and they know fashion. So that's what makes it a competitive environment, but also it means you deliver, they come back. So it's a tough but rewarding environment. To be a global brand, this is one of the key places we have to make it. It's a great market in its own right, but it's also a key determinant that we are succeeding. It also provides a wonderful launch pad, not only for Europe, but for the rest of the world. The UK is a gateway to other markets in a number of different ways, actually, and some that surprised us. Obviously, locationally, it's perfect. But I think more than that, and we found that particularly here in Covent Garden, we have a large volume of tourists, particularly European tourists, but global tourists coming, right here to this store, and it gets the word out of the business, ahead of the business, and that's fantastic. And that's driven interest from around the world, and I think it's predominantly coming from being right here in Covent Garden in the centre of London. The next sort of site towards gateways, I think the world in many senses does still follow what's going on in London and in the UK more generally. UKTI is a sort of, firstly, the first way they helped us actually surprised us a bit, which was, help more broadly in the UK. So as I said, we're starting to look beyond London, and the UKTI has been a good conduit for introductions regionally in areas we haven't been before. So going into Leeds, who are we talking to about shop fit outs, surveyors, local chambers of commerce. So those sort of early doors introductions, even within the UK, have been very useful. More broadly, as I said, we're expanding internationally. So we've recently launched in Canada, both in Vancouver and Toronto, and UKTI has been a very important first port of call as we've hit those markets. So it's that early introduction that really does make a difference when you jump off a plane and actually have someone to talk to about, where do I go, what do I do? And they have, so they've introduced us to Toronto business, Calgary business, and both of those sort of key contacts have had great flow-on effects to what we're now doing in those markets.